camera is a bit skew. Hey stars, what's up? Thank you very much for once again stopping back by. I really hope that you're going to enjoy today's video so that you can keep coming back for more. In today's video, I've selected 9 monologues that are my suggestions to you. So if you're looking for a monologue that you want to do at an audition, or you just want to play around and you're looking for a good monologue, do stay tuned for this video. If that is something you'd like to watch, please do keep watching till the end. But please don't forget to like, to comment, and subscribe and become a part of this acting family. A lot of you guys have been asking me a lot about acting, actually, which is what makes me keep coming back with more acting content, because you guys really appreciate this when I do it. So a lot of the questions I've been getting have to do with what monologue can I do. Can you suggest a dramatic monologue for me? Can you suggest a comic monologue for me? I have an audition. What piece do you think I should do? So that's why I am here today and actually creating this video. If you're one of those people that have asked me, I have literally replied and said I have a video on exactly that coming up real soon. Do be on the lookout for that on my channel if it's urgent. And then I reply, and then some people are like, no, I'm gonna wait for the video. Some people are like, no, I have an audition in like next week or like tomorrow. That's why I'm asking, and then obviously I would assist and answer those people. So I have kept my word, and here I am with the video. So as I've mentioned, I'm going to be sharing 9 different monologues from across the globe that I personally think are as audition pieces. Now, of course, these aren't the only good monologues. There's a variety, guys. There's a variety. Sorry, that was my so as I was saying, there's a variety of monologues. And remember, Uti, it is impossible for me to tell you what monologue you can do, because people are different. A monologue that might work for me might not work for you. A monologue that works brilliantly for you might not work for me, because people are different. So we are suited for different things. So this is just like a suggestion video. It's not to say that you can't look elsewhere or whatever. So before we start with the 9 different, I wanted to make it 10, but I couldn't find the 10th one, so I was like, okay, 9. That's what we're doing. Lucky number 9 is where we at today. So before we get into that, I really want to go through what makes a good audition monologue. Not monologue, audition. Because remember, when you're auditioning, you want to get the role. You know, that's the only aim you have when you audition. You are convincing those people that actually I'm good enough and this role is mine. That's literally all you are doing. It's all about proving that you are the best candidate for that particular role. So when you are choosing an audition piece, you don't want something long. That's number 1, because we're gonna get bored. Remember, people that we audition for, or the judges or the producers and the directors, have been sitting there throughout the day. Like, they have been sitting there for masses. Guys, if you're an artist or an aspiring actress, you know how long audition queues are. It's a process. Like, you don't even need to have been sitting behind the desk as a producer or a director to know this. So can you imagine what he and they're exhausted? When you get there, you shoot, you capture them, you maintain them, you end, literally. So when you're picking out an audition piece, you want a monologue that is very short, that has a variety of emotions, so that we can see your range. So you don't necessarily want a monologue that plays on the same emotion for long. Not to say monologues that are like that are not good. They are good pieces, but for audition purposes, you want something that's really going to be you know, like, you need to show what you can do within a period of 2 minutes or shorter. I personally always go, when I'm auditioning, I always go for monologues that are 2 minutes and shorter. Period. You know, I remember when I first started acting, my coach used to say to me, the best way to audition is start from the climax. So you don't necessarily have to start from the beginning of the monologue, because remember, these people are not interested in the story of the monologue. They're interested in your ability of telling the story. So they don't care where the story starts. They don't care what they're only interested in which is the climax of the story. Your audition piece needs to open with a banging line. that first line that you say, that first approach that you give them needs to make them sit and look at you, needs to make them sit and listen to you. The aim when you start your monologue is to make them not to move their eyes from you, because once they do, it's over. Trust me, that's just the sad truth. Like once they blues or it's literally game over. It's game over. So the two important things in audition pieces is your opening line and your ending line. When your opening line, it needs to be strong so that you can capture them. Your last line, it needs to be strong so that they can remember you. So those are just the two things you're going for. The banging opening line so that you can capture them, and then the last line so that when the next person walks in, basati, but that girl. You know, so that's the impression you want to leave. That's the stamp you want to leave. That's the bar you want to set high. Because remember, spaningi. So when you get that chance to audition. Okay. Another thing I want us to talk about is I actually wrote my things down. Okay. I want us to talk about the fact is writing your own monologue a good idea? I would suggest not. Okay, not that I'd suggest not. It depends. If you're still an aspiring actor, I'd suggest you don't write your own monologues, unless if you are a writer. Really, you are a writer before you are an actor. But just to be on the safe side, even at audition venues or when auditions are taking place, they don't really want a monologue that you've written. Like they even ask you, so it's safer. I'm not saying never, but I think particularly for this video, for this channel, because I feel like this channel is more for like beginners. This channel is more for intermediate performers. It's not really for I don't think it's for advanced people yet, simply because I myself am not, I wouldn't say I'm an advanced, I may be almost a professional actor because obviously I'm graduating next year and work experience and stuff, but I think I still cater for beginners, cater for people who don't even know if it's really what they want to do, who don't even know how to get into acting. So for my beginners, for my people, I don't think it's a good idea to go on and write your own monologues, because it just goes okay. So the first monologue is my absolute favorite monologue. I love this monologue. Most of these monologues are actually pieces that I have done. I do have one or two pieces by males. It's very hard for me to pick male monologues simply because I'm not a male. So I know that a lot of people that talk to me about acting are no, actually I'm lying, it's males and female. I feel like I don't have my boys. I feel like I can only do so much for boys, because I prefer talking about stuff I've done before rather than me picking out monologues that I've never done, that I've never got criticism for, because I know these monologues are good because I've performed them and I've got criticism that they work because of the feedback from people that are bigger than me, from my lecturers, my directors, my acting coaches. So I know that these monologues are but for my boys, if maybe I do, as I mentioned, I do have one or two monologues that are for boys. Now, corner, it's because I've seen them being performed by, I think, my classmates, and they executed them so well that I was like, this monologue is one hell of a monologue. It's good. So if I have any boys who feel like they would also appreciate me like suggesting monologues for them, drop it down below. I'll make a plan, even if it means I bring my fellow male artists, my male brothers, my male actors to come in and share their best monologues or whatever. I'll make a plan, just drop it down below. But my favorite monologue, coming in at number, I don't know if I should say number 9 or number 1. So my first monologue, my favorite monologue, I love this monologue. It's called, I've written everything down so that I don't forget. It's called, my favorite monologue is called Cold-Blooded Murder. Ooh. Even the title, you want to hear what's happening in this monologue. So you need to pick something like that. You need to pick something that is from the get-go. The moment you open your mouth, people are like, huh? you know. So it's called Blooded Murderer by Elisa Thompson. It's a dramatic monologue. So for every monologue, if I remember what it's about, I'm going to give a short description, just so that you can see so it's basically about this young girl. According to my interpretation, she's 15 years old. So this monologue doesn't give you an age, but this is just what I created for me. It's a young girl who is sort of like psycho. She's murdered other girls, other young girls, because she feels like she's never really been able to fit in. So basically, she murdered all the girls that were fitting in. So now she's in an interrogation room with two police officers, and they're asking him, why did you do this? Why did you murder these two girls? And so now she's telling them why she did it, and she's so ruthless about it. Yet Futi, she's so innocent when you look at her age. So she's speaking all these ruthless things and all this anger, but in a very chilled way. But Futi, it's a contrast of it. Yo guys, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. So if you're looking for something like that, do check that out. Yeah, let me not talk akulu. I actually auditioned with this monologue in 2017. I auditioned for, this is the first time I met this monologue. I auditioned for a scholarship. I didn't get the scholarship, but I was the runner-up for the scholarship. So yeah, man, that's when I discovered this monologue. And yeah, I've been running with it ever since. Yeah, it's Rather Be a Man by Joseph Arnon. It's a comic monologue. Funny enough, a lot of people who've been asking me, please suggest a monologue. What monologue do you think I can do? They've always been saying, I want something comic. What can I do? So this is definitely it. It's about this girl who is fed up with men. She's fed up. It's actually very, very funny. She's fed up ngokushelwa, so she doesn't understand why men always come with these cheesy lines and are always asking her out. So she's basically confiding in her friend with, you know what, she's fed up, she's had it up to here, and she would rather be a man if that is the only way that is gonna stop men from coming at her and asking her out and all that. So that's what that is about. If you're looking for a comic monologue, I definitely think this is the one. Another one of my fave, I think this is the first comic monologue I've ever done. It's a very famous monologue. It's called I Ate the Divorce Papers. It's from the play Goodbye Charles, and it's by Gabriel Davis. Now this one is very famous. I feel like in every, I know even at DUT, for callbacks, people that did callbacks actually were given this monologue, I Ate the Divorce Papers. So it's a famous monologue. Even when I was still at my acting academy, I remember this was what I auditioned. I first had my own monologue where you prepare at home, and then you make it to the second round, and then they give you a monologue. This is the monologue that I got. So it's very likely that when you go into these audition places, especially if you're auditioning if you're auditioning for education purposes, so if you're auditioning for varsity, for academy purposes, this monologue is highly likely for you to be given it. So it's I Ate the Divorce Papers. It's about this woman who is, she's kind of lost it. She's lost it. Her husband, it's a young woman, her husband wants to file for divorce. So she doesn't want no divorce. Like, she doesn't, basically, so that's where I Ate the Divorce Papers comes from. Muti, you're not going anywhere. I ate them. You was in it, tomato sauce. She literally says, I ate them with ketchup. So yeah, it's quite a funny monologue. It's quite a nice monologue, especially if you can free yourself up and allow yourself to not care what you're doing, not care how you're looking, and really take it on. It's an interesting comic monologue. The next monologue that we're going to be talking about is called It's Terrible Being Nice. I actually performed this monologue for my final exams last year and got an A for it. Okay, but this is not about me. It's not about me. So basically, it's a monologue still from the play Goodbye Charles, written by Gabriel Davis. It's Terrible Being Nice. It's about this woman who enjoys being a mean girl. She's genuinely mean and she loves it. So in this monologue, there's this guy who's proposing to her, and it freaks her out because she feels like her accepting the proposal will make her nice. So she doesn't like being nice. So in this monologue, she basically goes off at the guy, ngokuthi, how dare you propose to me? Like, if I say yes and we get married, I'm gonna be nice, and I don't want to be nice. So yeah, it's a whole it's a crazy monologue. It's a crazy comic monologue. What I like about the monologues that we've talked about so far is that none of them are emotional monologues. Like you can play them emotionally, but they're not really like monologues that will demand tears or for you to fake cry. Guys, there's nothing that I don't like people who fake cry. Like if there's no tears, don't cry. You don't have to express sadness through tears. So yeah, what I like about these monologues is that none of them are crying, because I feel like a lot of young actors, the moment you say act, the moment you're at an audition, and it's like there's more to acting than crying. There's more to acting than tears. In fact, tears don't mean that we are actors. So I feel like a lot of us young actors, we rely on tears to act. So it's even worse pretending you know. So what I like about these monologues is that it feels like a breath of fresh air when you walk into the audition room and director and producer and you just come and you don't cry, but you still perform. It's, so I feel like crying is overrated. So yeah, that's a personal opinion for me. Okay, so the fifth monologue is I'm more of a man than you are. It comes from the play Unbearable Hotness. I've never performed this piece before. I would love to perform it. I was actually looking for my pieces for my final year, and I stumbled across this, and I'm like, this is such a good monologue, but I can't perform it because it's too short. So, but it would make a great audition piece. It's about this tomboy girl who is speaking to her male friends. So bahleli bonke, and something happens. We don't get told in the monologue what happens, but something happens that makes them disregard her. Okay, I think my explaining is shit. Okay, let me restart. So bahleli bonke, and this girl, since she's a tomboy, has always been recognized as one of the guys. So her guy friends take her as one of us. There's no you a girl, we guys. So something happens which we don't get told in the monologue as to what happens, but something happens that pisses her off. No, something happens that make the guys remember that Kanja, you a girl, so they start treating her a little bit different than usual, and that pisses her off. So this is when she gets up and says, actually, I'm more than a man than you, just because I don't have a... So she questions their manhood by asking them, so just because I don't have a penis, does that mean I'm not a man? Is manhood determined by a penis? So yeah, it's a whole monologue about that, where she expresses why she's... I feel like this monologue... Okay, the sixth monologue that I have prepared is a very famous monologue. Once again, it is I've Been Standing With You, Troy, from the play Fences. Now guys, if you take on this monologue, you better take it on. You better take it on, because this monologue comes from one, a very famous movie. Number two, it was performed by Viola Davis. So like, this is one monologue where if you're not gonna go all in, leave it, because it's famous. Everybody knows it. The moment you say, I've been standing with you, Troy, because it's so famous, because it's been performed. It's been performed I don't think kuyaphela a year not having seen at least 10 new people performing this monologue. So this is a very famous monologue. If you're not gonna hit it, leave it. If you're not gonna give it your all, leave it. If you're not gonna go bare with this monologue, leave it. Because Viola Davis, when she performs this monologue, she's bare. So the moment she starts, automatically our brains compare. So it's that monologue that is it's scary, but we can't take away the fact that it's a great monologue. The emotional range, your corner, is amazing. You really can go high, you really can go low. And I've been saying, Wuti, I'm happy because I haven't been talking about monologues that demand you to cry and tears. This one does. Not necessarily. You can perform this monologue without really crying. I performed this monologue without really crying, and I got an A for it. So I think it was good. But that's not where we are. That's not where we are. But what I'm trying to say is, this is one monologue that is, yeah, it's either you go in or you leave it, or you just, you say thank you very much. Next. Coming in at number 7 is, oh yeah, still this is a guy's monologue, Fences Croy. So this is one that is performed by Croy. So as I said earlier to you guys, I remember a colleague of mine, my classmates, my classmates performed this monologue last year, and it was so good that it's still in my head. It's memorable. He did it so amazingly well that I was just like, so if you're a guy and you're looking for a good monologue, this is something I definitely suggest to you. Yeah, man, yeah. Coming in at number 8 is, I'm gonna do this one last because this is my favorite. So I opened with my favorite and I'm gonna close the list with my favorite, called Just a Crack by Joseph Arnon. Again, beautiful monologue. It's about a woman who is who loves her boyfriend so much, but boyfriend is just not coming to the party. Like, he's just not working towards the relationship working. So in this monologue, she's basically expressing to him how he makes her feel, and he's basically telling him, I love you so much, but if you don't stop doing 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8, I'm gonna leave you. So it's a very beautiful monologue. It's a love monologue. It's she's not entirely in her sober senses. It's not given in the description that she's not sober, but when I did it, I was high because I just wanted a different approach to it, because it's subtle, but it's a beautiful monologue. I think this type of monologue depends on how you perform it. It doesn't do much for you, but it can do much for you depending on what approach you use to perform it. I've also seen it being performed brilliantly. She was actually drunk, and she was performing this monologue. So that dramatic effect to it, the monologue allows that. It doesn't necessarily tell you to do that. It's like, actually, she is drunk and walks in the room, but you can do anything with it. It allows that. So I think this monologue is beautiful, but for it to be a good audition piece, so that it's not boring, it really relies on how you approach it. And the last monologue that we're going to be doing is Ruined. Oh, it's from the play called Ruined, it's from the play called Ruined by Uline Nortage, character name Salima. Oh, guys. Oh, this monologue, you find it on Act 2, Scene 2. It's a beautiful monologue. It's I actually have this monologue posted on my Instagram. Not on my feed, like on my Instagram. It's posted on my IGTV. If you would want to see just a glimpse of it, you can hit that. I'll link it down in the description box. But what this monologue is about is, it's basically, the play is set at the Republic of Congo. It's during the war times where soldiers are killing people, murdering people. So this woman who saves damaged girls. Okay, let me cut the story short. But in the monologue, Usalima is basically recalling how the soldiers raped her and killed her baby in front of her. It's a beautiful monologue. It's a very, there's not much you do in this monologue. It requires a lot of emotional connection. Yes, this monologue is that monologue that will get you to cry. Like, you need to cry for this monologue, but it's a beautiful monologue. If you audition, especially if you audition for a piece that is very emotional, that requires a lot of emotional gravel, then this is definitely the monologue for you, because it really, I don't think you can execute this monologue well if you don't have an emotional connection to it. Like, like literally, like le monologue, like, we are palaza when you say it, it's just that type of monologue. If it's not real, we are able to tell the minute you start. But if it's real, we are able to cry with you when you cry. We are able to see the picture when you paint it. It's a journey monologue. So yeah. So before I leave, I just want to give you guys a tip, an audition tip. Choose one monologue that is going to sustain you for all your auditions. Don't all the time when you audition find a new monologue. Focus on one monologue that you're going to pick not one monologue. You should always have, as an aspiring actor, actress, you should always have at least 5 monologues that are at the top of your head, that when anybody wakes you up to perform these monologues, you know them. So perfect 5 monologues. A dramatic monologue, okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be very honest with you. I only have 3. I'm only saying 5 because I was taught to say, may I have 5 for my monologue, but I'm gonna be real honest with you. Like, when it comes to monologues that I've perfected, ithenjwa zami imimonologue engathembile ukuthi akuphunyukile la mase ngishaye lawa nje ayisaphunyuki leyo rule sekweyami. I only have 3 of them. I know, but at least have 3 to 5 monologues that you know you've worked on them so hard that even the emotional connection for them, you're able to just tap into it. Because remember, when you're auditioning, nobody has time to wait for you to tap into the monologue. Was he uzube in a headspace? You just need to get there and do it. Like, it's not like when you are performing alone, where before a monologue, you need to scream into a pillow. Audition, we don't have time for that. But if you're constantly working on one monologue, if you're constantly developing one monologue, that monologue is going to become like your second language. That monologue is going to exist inside you, that every time when you are at an audition room, you're going to be so comfortable in it. You're going to perform the monologue as if you're alone in your room in front of a mirror in the bathroom. You're going to forget that you're actually in an audition room because you're doing something that you are so comfortable with. You're going to suppress the nerves simply because you are doing something that you are extremely comfortable with, because this monologue is like your second language. It's embodied in you. So the reason why we always have more than one monologue that is ready is because when you audition, it is very likely once a monologue, and you always get them saying, okay, that was nice, but can you show me something else? When that happens, you can't be now thinking, hey, but now I don't have another monologue, because I mean, like, if you don't have, sweetie, bye, so you always need to be ready. And when you're choosing your monologues, choose one comic, choose one dramatic, choose one emotional. Don't have 2 comic monologues, because chances are you're going to execute them the same way, and when they say show us something else, they really want to see something different. So you can't perform a monologue ukhala basically show us something else, so it needs to be like opposite. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you learned something from this video, or if you just simply enjoyed this video, please drop it down below. Please don't forget to give me a massive thick thumbs up. I'll see you on my next video, but for now, you definitely are a star. I love you. Mwah.